This is T just saying, welcome to another Raw Review Autopsy. What do I think about this show? Man, this show was weak. Man, whoever put this show together must have been high than a kite. Must have been higher than a giraffe's titties. But this show stunk. But I bet they'll get like over 1 million viewers. Anyway, let's get to it. So we open up the show with a tag team battle royal, and it has Mace and T-Bar, RK Bro, the New Day, Viking Raiders, Lindsay Dorito. So look, I thought Raw was gonna do something different, right? You know, they were gonna just have this match, just have it out, but they didn't. So it was basically a opening promo with AJ Styles and Almas, the Raw Tag Team Champions. I didn't know Raw had so many tag teams. I didn't know that. I was like, hey, Raw ain't got no tag teams, so you get some of those tag teams from NXT to come out to the main show. But apparently, Raw has some tag teams. They don't get featured that much, so who cares? So you got the Raw Tag Team Champions, AJ Styles and Almas. AJ comes out and cuts the promo, running down everybody who's on, who's on the, who's in the match. And then you had Miz and Morrison came out for no apparent reason. I guess somebody in the back was like, "Hey, let's make this segment even more cringy by having Miz and Morrison come out and for no apparent reason." So Morrison decides to put himself in the match. Don't know why, because Miz is injured. I guess the only funny part was when Morrison's music was playing, and then Miz and Morrison were doing their pose, and the wheelchair that Miz was in started rolling down. I admit I was laughing a little bit, but you got to make me laugh some way, But so it took 10 minutes and a commercial break to start this match. So they finally started. At the end, the Viking Raiders won by eliminating Randy Orton. Match was, I guess, the match was okay. It was just like what Jim Cornette always says, lazy booking. Because apparently they can't actually have promoted feud between somebody to face against AJ Styles and Almas. So basically what they did was they were like, let's just have a battle royal, lazy booking, and we just pick somebody and whatever. That's basically what, this whole entire thing was. Backstage, we have Sonya Deville and Adam Fierce and Charlotte, whatever, and Rhea Ripley that showed up. I feel like I've seen this segment before. Was it the one from last week? Yes, I watched Raw last week. Was it the one where everybody was there but Nikki Cross was there? So basically they did the same segment. So basically this was a rerun. And it was the same thing. Alright, this is completely boring as usual. So at the end, the two whoever, they made a match. Charlotte, Rhea Ripley would team up and they would take on Nikki Cross. And Nikki Cross, she ain't got no friends. And she gets to pick a tag team partner. So I wonder who's going to be. I don't really care, but yeah. And we have go backstage with Viking Raiders. Viking Raiders were talking about the Viking stuff, whatever. And then AJ Styles and Almas showed up. It was like Viking Raiders didn't see them coming. You know, who the heck commits Almas? But basically their opponents now. This segment pretty much added nothing. It was just to introduce you to the Viking Raiders. Will fight against AJ Styles and Almas and sometime a number one contender way to just put the match together. And then we go to the ring with Elias. Elias and Jackson Ryker broke up. It was really sad. Boo hoo. So then a match happened. Jackson Ryker, he looked different now. He just got a haircut and all this other stuff, and I guess he got his his $1,400, so he was able to get his haircut. Then they had a match. I didn't care about because I didn't know who was the face, who was the heel, who to cheer for, who to boo for, who to care. But this was basically a bathroom break. So I went to the bathroom, and this match, was still going on. And I was just on my phone, texting and all this other stuff, and the match finally ended. And we had a contract signing between Drew McIntyre and the almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley. WWE, can you please stop having Drew talk about some nursery rhymes? That's all he's been doing for the past couple of weeks, talking about some nursery rhymes. Who cares about some nursery rhymes? If he keeps going if he keep going down this route, it won't be long time. It will be not too long before he say suffer succotash. That's something Roman Reigns was doing before it became cringy. Just have Drew come out, cut a good promo. I remember he cut a good promo. And then he went to nursery rhymes. No. Stop with that. Whoever's writing that material needs to be fired. You need to be fired. You need to fire a lot of people who work on Raw. So they called out Bobby Lashley. He didn't show up the first time. I like that. He's a WWE champion. He should come out on his own terms. Second time, he showed up with some ladies. And they had a contract signing. You had Drew, and then you had Bobby Lashley, who looked like he just came from playing the saxophone at a local club, the way he was dressed. They had MVP cutting a good promo. Then they signed a contract, and Drew was like, "Hey, I got an idea. Why don't this be a Hell in a Cell?" Okay, isn't that the name of the pay-per-view? The point of the pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, is Hell in a Cell. So you ain't got to be like, I got an idea. Why don't we, spice it up a little bit? Anyway, so they made the point that if Drew loses, he will never get a WWE Championship match. So this is what I prefer. Bobby Lashley win the match, and Bobby just moves on to somebody else. Because, they are right. Drew keeps getting all these title matches. But remember, no one is stepping up. No one is stepping up to Bobby Lashley. Or even Roman Reigns. Ain't nobody stepping up. So you're going to keep having the same people in the match until somebody steps up. You ain't got people stepping up. You had people back then, they would step up. They saw an opportunity. It's like they're scared to be champion or be in the main event scene because I guess they don't want to get blamed and get released. But, Drew's doing fine. I prefer Drew not to win the WWE Championship because when he was WWE Champion, he was kind of stale. And that's the part of Drew McIntyre I didn't like. I like Drew when he wasn't champion because he looks more intense in his promos. But he needs to stop that nursery rhyme garbage. Stop it. So at the end, they signed a contract, and then Drew had the sword, and then he sliced the table in half. Okay. And then we go backstage with Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross, she picks her tag team partner. First, I thought it was going to be Naomi. But it was Asuka. Now, I wasn't thinking about Asuka. Neither does WWE, because Asuka had nothing to do like the whole night. But apparently, Asuka was very happy to be Nikki Cross's partner. So, as long as she's happy, who's mad? Then we have a match between Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo. And this was a #1 contenders match for the United States Championship. Before this match started, Sheamus came out to the ring. Man, Sheamus looked like Cody when he was like the undashing one. But at least he got color to his face. His face is a little green, but at least he got color now. But anyway, so we have Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo fighting for the #1 contenders match. The match was okay, but Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo, they have that that smell to them. Like no one cares. No one cares about Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo because they never promoted these people. Like, what is so great about Humberto Carrillo or Ricochet? Ricochet, he got some good moves. You'd be very impressed, but he ain't got no character. And Humberto Carrillo, they're like, hey, this guy Humberto Carrillo, he still works here. What about putting him on TV? And they're like, oh, okay, sure. But whatever. It was a double count out, and who cares? Then we go to backstage with Kofi Kingston, and the MVP shows up. MVP, what he does is he always make people doubt themselves. Like, okay, when the stuff that MVP says, okay, you'd be like, oh, he's right. No, MVP is right when he says this, when he says that. He's a good manipulator. So I guess he was trying to manipulate Kofi, and Kofi wasn't having it, and then the segment ended. But it's the thing. Okay, one week you have Kofi being on Sirius. Kofi. I guess I would say Kofi cut a good promo when he was fighting against Drew McIntyre, and then the next week he was like dancing and gyrating around the ring. It's like that's when people not taking you seriously. And the only black wrestler that I take seriously is Bobby Lashley. Everybody else is pretty much a joke. Like, I think MVP, he wants like mostly like the black wrestlers to be taken seriously, not being treated as jokes like Kofi and Xavier and Big E. Big E should be a heel, but nah, he's like, dun, 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 we're brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Dun, 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 give me a high five. That's what the New Day is. Anyway, so we got our next match between Jeff Hardy versus Cedric the Entertainer. Now here's the thing. I thought Cedric the Entertainer, he was going to win this match because Jeff Hardy's been losing for some reason. But Jeff Hardy wins the match. That was the only highlight of this whole entire match. I wasn't paying attention to it. When Jeff Hardy did the twist of fate, he got on top of the ropes and did a swanton bomb. I was like, what? Jeff won? So I guess, I don't know what happened, but Jeff Hardy's been losing to a lot of jobbers, for the past couple of months. He finally got this win. So I guess it's good. Then we had our match between Nikki Cross and Asuka versus Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. This was like the worst match of the night. And the difference between what happened tonight was that they had a lot of matches that I didn't care about. But this match was so terrible that no one was focused in this match. No one had chemistry. It was really cringy at times. It's like when you're a viewer and you watch this crap, you're like, it's time to get on my phone. It's time to do something else. It's time to change the channel. And Nikki Cross and Asuka won, but the match it was just pathetic. And it just, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, they need to go back to training or whatever. They need to go to NXT or something. But this just was just pathetic. Another pathetic thing, it was Man Bohr versus Drew Axlax. Who cares who won? I think Man Bohr won. Who cares? We got another who cares match. Then you had Kofi Kingston versus Riddle. This match, like, it was just put there to fill time. And the match was like these two have never worked together before. They never worked together. And, it's like the match was just not worthy of seeing. And Kofi Kingston won. Maybe they put on this match because a lot of people probably changed the channel by now. Because I'm sure this is like the third hour of Raw, and I'm sure a lot of people changed the channel. Kofi Kingston won. Who cares? And then the main event was Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler. Okay. The only thing about this was there was a cliffhanger. And you don't get too much of that on Raw. So it's going to be what happened to Shayna Baszler. But at the end of the day, whose idea was to put this together? Like, the contract signing could have been the main event because it was for the WWE Championship. This was like, this is basically like you go into the bathroom after someone who stunk it up, didn't spray no air freshener, and this match was this segment was it was, I can't describe it, but it was so pathetic. It was like, who runs this show? Did everybody fall asleep? Is everybody high? Everybody must be high to do all this stuff. Like, it's like a crackhead runs his show. Who runs this show? You got this as the main event? Well, at least Natalya and Tamina weren't even on the show. I guess that's a benefit, right? But man, what the heck was all this? I don't know what to say now. Maybe Raw was like, hey, we have no competition. Like, you saw, if anybody paying attention, AEW got like 462,000 viewers on a Friday night. You guys can make excuses all you want. But, okay, SmackDown. It's always been on Fox, right? There was this one time. It was a couple of times that they had SmackDown on FS1. Now, FS1 is a hard channel to get. This is like Access TV for Impact. SmackDown got over 1 million viewers just on that channel. Now, TNT does not care about Impact. They don't care about Impact. I mean, AEW, I forgot the name. I messed up on the name. Oops. But who cares? But no one cares. TNT doesn't care about AEW. If they care, look, If they cared about AEW, they would have AEW on TBS on Wednesdays. They were to do that, but they're not going to do that. But anyway, that's another video, another here and there. But this Raw's stupid. Anyway, it's T just saying, see ya.